You were carrying a lot. That simple statement from the nurse practitioner spoke to what I was feeling, even if I didn't recognize it. Too often, we can find ourselves carrying things we were never meant to carry. It's time to release your burdens and walk in the freedom of Christ. I'm Crystal Storms, an author and artist. Welcome to the Simplicity of Heart podcast. You're listening to episode 6. This is a podcast about cultivating the simplicity that is in Christ so we can move forward from a place of rest. If you struggle with overwhelm, weariness, or you just need the simple reminder that His grace is enough, you're in the right place for encouragement to rest in Christ. Listen in. I carried my Bible, coffee cup, breakfast bowl, and spoon, Minnie in my arms, and Laredo, my parrot, on my shoulder. Minnie is my dog. With my arms full, I missed the bottom step and fell straight to the floor. Thankfully, the only thing hurt, other than my pride, was my right big toe. X-rays revealed it to be only a sprain. After I listed off what I carried in my arms, the nurse practitioner's simple remark struck me. You were carrying a lot. So often what we carry can't be seen. Uneasiness over what may happen. Grief over others' burdens. Weighed down by it all. Maybe, like me, you need to hear you're carrying a lot. F. W. Borham knows the feeling. He writes, "The other evening I was staggering under a load that was heavy enough to crush half a dozen strong men. Out of sheer exhaustion, I put it down and had a good look at it. I found that it was all borrowed. Part of it belonged to the following day. Part of it belonged to the following week. And here was I borrowing it that it might crush me now. It was a very stupid, but a very ancient blunder." I can relate. Some of what we carry is ours to bear. For that, God gives us grace and carries it with us if we allow Him to do so. But we can also carry things that were never meant for us. I want to offer you 3 questions to determine if what you're carrying is yours to bear. Am I borrowing burdens? Pondering what will happen when or if, wondering how I will manage an upcoming task or encounter. But worrying about tomorrow steals the peace of today. And doesn't each day have enough trouble of its own? As Jesus said in Matthew 6:34, "Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about its own things. Sufficient for the day is its own trouble." 2. Am I taking on others' burdens? Loving God and loving others means offering practical help to those in need and bringing their burdens to God in prayer. As Paul writes in Galatians 6:2, "Bear one another's burdens and so fulfill the law of Christ." But we're not to be weighed down by others' burdens, just as we're not to be weighed down by our own burdens. Which brings me to the final question. Am I attempting to carry things that are too heavy for me? Things that can weigh me down are emotions that pierce my heart. Fear, anger, sadness, memories from my past, mistakes I've made, or things that have been done to me. In The Hiding Place, Corrie ten Boom shares what to do with those things that are too heavy. As a child, Corey loved to ride on the train with her father. Those one-on-one times allowed Corey to share her troubles. And on one such occasion, she asked, "Father, what is sexing?" It was a term she'd heard at school. But instead of answering her question, Corey's wise father asked her to carry his traveling case off the train. She tried with all her might to lift her father's case, but the case wouldn't budge. Finally, she gave up. Yes, he said, and it would be a pretty poor father who would ask his little girl to carry such a heavy load. It's the same way with knowledge. Such knowledge is too heavy for children. When you are older and stronger, you can carry it. For now, you must trust me to carry it for you. Corey writes, and I was satisfied, more than satisfied, wonderfully at peace. There were answers to this and all my hard questions. For now, I was content to leave at my father's keeping. I used to attempt to fill my arms and carry all the grocery bags into the house in one trip, calling myself the one-trip wonder. More often than not, I was left with shoulders that ached long after the groceries were put away. I didn't have to carry it all alone. I learned I could avoid shoulder aches by making multiple trips. We don't have to carry our burdens alone. We have a good Father who carries us and our burdens too. Jesus calls us to come to me, all you who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. What a powerful and sweet invitation. Each week, I want to offer you a question to journal about or simply contemplate. In what area or areas are you carrying burdens that are too heavy for you? What is one step you can take to release your burdens to Christ so you can experience the rest He promises? Thanks for listening to episode 6 of the Simplicity of Heart podcast. I hope this simple encouragement of releasing your burdens can help you cultivate a rhythm of rest. Because while it's true that life is complicated, our hearts find rest when we keep first things first and release the rest. As always, you can find me online at crystalstorms.me, where you can also find a blog post of this episode. Instagram is where I hang out the most. Find me at crystal_storms. I would love to see you there. I created a free resource to help you experience heart rest. Go to crystalstorms.me to sign up to receive Rest in Christ, 31 personalized scriptures to anchor your heart to truth. You can also find the link in the show notes. As we close, I want to leave you with another quote from Corrie ten Boom. Any concern too small to be turned into a prayer is too small to be turned into a burden. Thank you for listening, sweet friend. Until next time, rest in Christ.